Why does God allow suffering? It is the question everyone asks, and the one Christians most often answer badly. God is building your character. God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. This is part of His will. Those answers are not lies, but they are incomplete in a way that can feel like a slap to someone in real pain. The biblical answer to suffering is more honest than any of those, more demanding, and ultimately more comforting, but only if you are willing to sit with it. The standard Christian answers to suffering fall into three categories. The first is character formation. Suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character. Romans 5 says this. It is true, but it does not explain the death of a child. It does not account for suffering so severe it destroys rather than refines. The second is free will. God gave human beings freedom, and freedom includes the capacity to cause tremendous harm. This explains moral evil, cruelty, war, abuse. It does not explain cancer. It does not explain earthquakes. It does not explain why a newborn dies of a genetic disorder. The third is mystery. God's ways are higher than our ways. Isaiah 55. This is also true, but offered too quickly, it becomes a way of shutting down honest anguish. It is the answer of Eliphaz, which God rejected. None of these answers is fully wrong. None of them is enough. The Bible knows this, and it does not try to resolve the tension with a cleaner explanation. It goes somewhere else entirely. Romans 8:18-25 is Paul's most sustained engagement with the problem of suffering. He does not explain it. He locates it. He says the whole creation has been groaning together in the pains of childbirth until now. And not only the creation, but we ourselves groan inwardly. Creation is broken, we are broken. Suffering is what brokenness feels like from the inside. But then verse 28, the one everyone quotes, we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good. That verse is not a promise that nothing bad will happen. It is a promise that nothing, not even the worst thing, is outside the reach of God's redemptive capacity. But the most important answer Scripture gives to suffering is not an explanation at all. It is the cross. God did not stand outside human suffering and explain it. He entered it. The incarnation is God taking on a human body, with its hunger, its exhaustion, its grief, its mortality. The cross is God experiencing the worst that suffering can do: betrayal, abandonment, torture, death. The Christian answer to suffering is not, here is why this happened. The Christian answer is, the God who asks you to trust Him has Himself been here. That is not a philosophical solution. It is a presence. And presence, real, costly, incarnate presence, is what suffering actually needs. When Jesus stands at the tomb of Lazarus, He already knows He is about to raise him, and yet the text says He wept. God does not explain death. He weeps at it, and then He defeats it. The Bible's answer to suffering is not an argument. It is a person, a God who entered the suffering He could have avoided and defeated what no explanation ever could. That doesn't make the pain smaller, but it means you are not in it alone. Drop a comment. Which answer to suffering have you found most honest or most hollow? Subscribe for more. New video every week on Rightly Divided.